Welcome back to Hard Knocks Games and Hobbies YouTube channel, Mediocre Painting with me, Wayne. This will be the last part of our Dwarven Tower terrain piece series. So we're going to finish up by doing these little trap doors that are go in the top layer, and then there's one in the second layer here. Now obviously for a piece of War Games terrain, this is a little bit extra because it's going to be beat around in the shop, and this shit's probably going to get broken or lost at some point. But I mean, I printed it, so I wanted to use it. And we're going to paint it up. So we're going to continue using our contrast paints on this thing, because that's what we started this series about, was being able to use contrast paint on a terrain piece. And I like the snakebite leather for wood, because it's kind of a nice mid-range brown. You can use the wildwood if you want a darker color, but see, this gives us a nice, rich, mid-tone brown on our trapdoor. Alright, so we'll let this dry for a little bit, and then we'll come back and do the metal. We use our same steel color that we used for the shutter, hinges, and lining. Oily steel from AK. So there we go. Now you can do this like back weirdy hinge part, whatever color. I think I'm going to try the steel on it to see if it doesn't look ridiculous, because it would make more sense that this thing would rotate on a big steel cylinder as opposed to like a hollowed out log. Yeah, there we go. Not really bothering painting the bottom because it's mostly not going to be seen. Cool thing about this paint is it dries pretty quick. A couple of minutes and you can, handle it gingerly to do what you need to do with it. And now I like to use my liquid talent, aka Nuln oil, on my metal to tone it down. And you obviously don't have to do this step if you don't wanna, but I like the look of the Nuln oil. It gives it that kind of iron look as opposed to a fresh piece of stainless steel. And we'll let that dry. Alright, our last step is to install the hinge piece that goes through there and lets it flip up and down. What's cool is this prints out the 3D printer file, the STL file has it already set to have that opening printed like that, just like it's got the opening in here that goes through. So, and what that's designed for is you take you a piece of filament. I would actually use black filament, but I wanted you to be able to kind of see what I was doing. And also I have this really shitty spool of Amazon Basics filament laying around. So we just kind of get a rough measurement here. And we've made a little hinge to go through it. So that slides through. So we drop our thing in place, and we slide our hinge piece through, and now you've got it, or it flips up and down. Actually, I want to redo that because that needs to be a little bit longer. Now you could use a wood dowel or a cylindrical piece of plasticard or just about anything else you wanted. I wouldn't glue this in place because that filament is not the strongest thing in the world by itself, so you could like snap that off pretty easily if it got pulled on or picked up by the little hinge. So if anything, I would just stuff some green stuff in there on the end, or you can maybe glue one end, because if that like snaps off in there, trying to dig that out with an X-Acto knife or something to get that nub so you can replace that hinge later would be a bit of a pain in the butt. But yeah, for our purposes here, that's gonna be good for that. And you just do the same thing to the lower level. I said normally for a piece of War Games terrain that we're keeping here in the shop, I wouldn't go to this level because, well, honestly, it's gonna get lost. It's going to fall out of here, or it's going to get broken by somebody in the back when they're playing with it and they're being a little less than careful. And that just happens. It happens with our terrain, just gets beat up in the shop. But I wanted to, do the full thing for this video, because obviously what you do in your home terrain is you're going to be a lot nicer to it than we are here at the shop. So there it is. It's done. But yeah, I would definitely take like a little piece of green stuff, knead that up and hold it in there to just like keep at least one side of the hinge. And green stuff isn't too bad to dig out even when it's hardened up. Also, I wouldn't use red filament for this if this was like something that I really wanted to look cool, but the red kind of goes with the castle trim here, so it doesn't really matter. But if you wanted it to blend in more, you'd use like a piece of black filament. But that's it. Tune in next time, and we'll have some more good hobby tips for you. I want to give a quick shout out to a friend of the channel who stopped by on her way back to Orlando the other day. We appreciate you coming by. We appreciate you watching our channel here. And if there's anything you need, let us know, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.